In this problem, we are given two functions. We know f of x equals 4x squared minus 2x plus 7, and g of x equals 8x squared plus 2x minus 1. We have to find two different things, and the first thing I have to find is the difference function f minus g of x. So to find the difference function, I need to use its definition. Well, f minus g of x is defined to be f of x minus g of x. So all I'm going to have to do is subtract g of x from f of x. So what is f of x? F of x is this. So f of x is 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. And then I'm going to subtract. Now be very careful. You must put parentheses in there because I have to subtract every single term in g of x. And what is g of x? 8x squared plus 2x minus 1. So now all I have to do is simplify. So I'm going to get 4x squared minus 2x plus 7. Now I have to distribute this negative in. So negative 1 times 8x squared is negative 8x squared. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. Remember, distributing in a negative changes all the signs. Did I change all of these signs down at this step here? Yes. So now all I have to do is look for like terms. I have 4x squared minus 8x squared, which is negative 4x squared. Then I have negative 2x minus 2x, which is negative 4x. And last of my constants, I have 7 plus 1, so I have plus 8. So now I have found my difference function, f minus g of x, and it equals negative 4x squared minus 4x plus 8. Now in part B, I have to find the difference function at negative 1. That means where x equals negative 1, find the difference function. Since I already found the difference function here, the simplest thing to do is just plug in a negative 1 into the difference function we just found. So it's negative 4 times x is negative 1 squared minus 4 times a negative 1 plus 8. So I have negative 4 times negative 1 all squared is positive 1. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 plus 8. So I'm going to get negative 4 plus 4 plus 8. And what does that equal? 8. So the difference function evaluated when x equals negative 1 is equal to 8. One thing I wanted to point out that the difference function evaluated at negative 1 could be figured out one other way, because the difference function at negative 1 is just equal to f evaluated at negative 1 minus g evaluated at negative 1. So what we could do is we could plug negative 1 into f, negative 1 into g, and then do the subtraction. So that's just a different way of completing the problem.